Hello, everybody. Welcome online and in person to Concordia University's fourth space. Thank you so much for joining us for a CUCCR celebration. So happy to be joined by Concordia University Center for Creative Use royalty here today. Arrien Weeks and Timm-Bottos are in the house. Newcomer, I should say, Jain is as well with us here today, and the current CUCCR artists in residence, and of course, all of you, the supporters that came out for the celebration. To help get you situated, we are streaming to YouTube live from Four Space, which is located on unceded indigenous lands here in Jain, Montréal. Et nous reconnaissons la nation Kanien'kehá:ka comme gardienne des terres et des eaux sur lesquelles nous nous réunissons aujourd'hui. We make this acknowledgement to bring awareness and understanding of the history of indigenous peoples and their territories that we occupy. At Fourth Space, we work with our university community and happily very often with CUCCR to help mobilize and exchange knowledge by co-creating daily activities. So as I mentioned, we have had the pleasure of working with the materials and the people from CUCCR on numerous occasions and are thrilled that they decided to celebrate their 6th birthday party here at Fourth Space. Woohoo! Okay, that's it for me. Over to you, Anna. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much, Anna. It's really, really, really wonderful to be here. I am just so incredibly blown away to have you all celebrating this amazing work that we've done this year with the Artists in Residence. This is the 5th year, but we had a little bit of a break in there with COVID. We didn't do our Artists in Residence, but we're really so happy to have artists back. The space opened in 2016. We had our very opening over in the Hall building, and we've come a long way since then. We're now in the Grey Nuns, as you know, and the work that we're doing and the people that it has brought together has really been incredible. Arrien's going to talk a little bit about the metrics, and hopefully Maya will talk a little bit about the artists, and then we'll get going. But I just wanted to say I'm so happy to be here, and you guys, this is so cool to be able to celebrate like this. And you know, we did a big thing by creating this reuse center and all of the things that have come out of it. Incredible, beautiful artwork, lots of happy and wonderful people and relationships that have continued on. I see some of our first volunteers and people that are from across Montreal and across beyond Montreal that are here in support. So thank you so much.
Hello. I'm going to adjust this slightly. Yes, also thank you. I'm going to now ask Dr. Kaitlyn from the Arts and Science to give a few words about the work here.
Thank you so much. Everybody can hear me? So Dinsicott asked me to speak in her behalf, and she said to be short. So this is the first chapter of my speech. And je pense que ça va aller très bien. Bonjour à tout le monde, j'espère que vous allez très bien et que cette cérémonie sera en votre faveur et véritablement vous fera plaisir. So it's a pleasure, really, and it's an honor to be here and celebrate the center's 6th birthday, or what I call this actually Queer Day, because it's Christian Day. And it's also a pleasure to see all the inspired Concordia students working across disciplines here and applying what they're learning and what they've learned in a really and truly artistic way. It is also, when I visited a little bit, an honor to see how much creativity, vision, imagination is in this room, and I have to say in people's mind, because this is the most important, and heart too. So I want to say bravo to everybody, and bravo to the center, bravo to the people who are creators, and I wish everybody a beautiful evening, and we are lucky to have such wonderful artists. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kaitlyn. If we could have the big slide up on the screen, because I can't remember all the numbers off the top of my head. So as Anna was saying, it's been an incredible journey these last 6 years. We've done so much. We're in our technically 5th artist residency. It was a bit weird in COVID. We had an artist residency, but we opened the show, and then a week later, the whole world shut down for a time. So this is our 5th residency, and Maya will talk a bit more about the residency in a moment. But I wanted to talk about some of the other big things that have happened over the last 6 years. And the biggest one, for those that have visited the center, and I think it's pretty much everyone in the crowd here on campus today, we have over 4,000 members that are part of the center. So that means when people come to the center, they become a member, and they're a member for lifetime. So they can always come back, and they can always get materials whenever they want. They don't have to be a Concordian, they don't have to be a student. They can come and visit us anytime we're open. We've diverted over 26 tons of materials. So it's a lot when you look at this picture of tiny little things, that adds up to 26 metric tons of materials that we've diverted, at least momentarily in most cases, from going to the landfill. So that's amazing to see in all of that time that we've been able to divert that much. We've saved our members over $300,000 in money they didn't have to spend on materials, because we don't believe in charging people for the materials that we have at the center. It was technically going to the garbage anyways, so why charge people for garbage waste? But that's helped so many people, students, non-students, to achieve what they wanted to achieve, whether it was artistic or otherwise. And that's just such a great thing to see, and we're so proud of that. We've had over 20 interns, over 30 volunteers. I think it's actually way higher than that. There's a lot of our volunteers here tonight, our current sustainability ambassadors. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being amazing every single day. We couldn't be open without you, so appreciate it so much. But at the end of the day, all of this is because we're trying to change the culture of reuse at Concordia. And as we've seen over the last 6 years, that starts to sort of go out into the community as well. So we're really making a bigger change in and outside of the university, and that just feels so good at the end of the day. And that's about it for that. I mean, it's just in a nutshell, but it feels great. You'll see some slides after when we're having time to chat in person. So I'll hand it over to Maya to talk more about the residency and, again, all the amazing work here.
Hello. Fun. So happy to see everyone here. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, so I'll just give everyone a little bit of context about the artist residency. I think everyone's pretty familiar with the Material Depot and some of the other programming we have going on, but as Arrien and Anna said, this is sort of the 4th, 5th year. So we've had 5 cohorts of people creating and getting involved, and it's evolved a lot. I was a resident, I think 4 years ago, and it was a really great experience. So it's really nice to be now in this role, sort of facilitating the artist process. This year is a bit different. In the past, we collaborated with different galleries and sort of arts groups, and this year we were lucky to partner with ForSpace. So it's looked a little bit different. In the past, it was artists creating very independently and then coming together for an exposition in the gallery at the end, and sort of more of like gathering in a gallery and in that vibe. And this year, because we're in ForSpace, it's been an opportunity to have more interaction with the public and make process more visible. And yeah, so the artists, we chose 6 artists this year. Also, it's given us the opportunity to open it up beyond just fine arts, just the Faculty of Fine Arts. So we have 2 of the artists who are not in fine arts this year, but are artists, and that's an amazing thing too. Yeah, so we have 6 artists this year, and they've been in here since January working on their own processes, and people have been able to come through and see what they've been up to. And then this week and next week, we have participatory events that the artists are hosting. So that's really great too, bringing just an opportunity to bring people into the conversation and be thinking about materials with them. Yeah, I could go on, but I think for me, it's been really interesting seeing like what themes have come up this year and just in general in the residency. To me, it's like a really great opportunity for students, but just artists in general to consider what sustainability looks like in art and the true full life cycle of their materials. And this year, I feel like I've seen a lot of sort of conversation around the doom of the climate crisis and just like how to approach that. I think it's really great to see people being playful with materials and taking an approach that's a bit lighter and more personal and bringing others into that. So I invite all the artists that are here today to come up, and I'll give a moment for each of them to say a little bit about their work and what the process has been like. Come on up. Can I take this? Do we want behind the table or in front of the table? Anyway, in front. Do you guys want to stand here? Also, thank you to Fourth Space. Thank you so much for this process. I also don't want to forget that part. It's been really great. And thank you for giving space to the artists and for us and all the amazing documentation and all of it. So, what?
I thought did you want to start? Okay, amazing. Hi, I'm Ev Ricky. My project this year for CUCCR has been the title of the project is Recycling the Unrecyclable. I started a collection, or CUCCR, and I started a collection of styrofoam over there in Fourth Space in the back corner. And I've been trying to replicate the industrial process for recycling styrofoam on like a smaller scale. Excuse me. Which has looked like going up to the biolab up on the 10th floor, which if you're not familiar with that space, they're very good. They've got a dress made out of kombucha up there that's like right next to my workspace. It's very sick. The reason that I want to do that work, it's like my sort of personal connection with it, is that I'm disabled, and so I get medication deliveries once a month, and they're in these like awful huge styrofoam cold containers. And I guess like since I've moved, like the last 8 years, I've got like months and months worth of these things piling up in my apartment, not wanting to throw them out, knowing that I can do something with them, feeling this like personal connection with them. Yeah. And so that's why I wanted to learn how to do this project. The project so far has been really focused on research creation. I found this protocol online that I've been trying to adapt so that one person can do it using like accessible materials that aren't hard to find. I'm using orange extract. And so far it's just been mostly focused on material exploration. I'm hoping to have the sort of finished results next week. And what it should look like, or what I'm expecting it to look like, is breaking down the styrofoam into something that can be used as castable alternative to resin. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Okay, I'm Raviya. I'm a studio art major here at Concordia, and this year for the residency, what I began working with started off materially speaking based with like just recycling paper, but working with and making handmade paper and from materials and papers that gathered from CUCCR. And then the project kind of went into the direction of I take a lot of walks, and so the wandering kind of led me through to like working with the color blue as a sort of guiding me towards working with language as a material, working with just wandering as a kind of like basis for a practice, where I really was trying to be intentional, not in just the materials I use, but also making work that could be taken anywhere. Really, you can take a walk anywhere. You don't need to be so involved with like accumulating and hoarding materials to take that approach. And so yeah, I started making paper, but then also started walking a lot and counting and tallying and gathering blue in whatever way I could, writing about it. It turned into less of an object based and like really went towards writing a lot more than I expected, but it was interesting to be led by it in that direction. And I found that whole process, and like that's kind of like really honored to be a part of this year's kind of cohort, that to be able to explore these ideas that had been kind of simmering in my mind for a long time of working with like a more immaterial approach. And yeah, and I'm like super excited to see where it's going to continue taking me, because I feel like it's a project that's going to keep going. But yesterday I had the chance to do a participatory performance here at Fourth Space, where I invited people to take a walk with me. I gave them instructions and got them to look for blue as well. So I feel like I'm infecting everyone with the same kind of disease that I've caught. But yeah, and it turned out to be really surprising and like very personal and intimate in the way that like it was for me while I was working, but kind of allowed others to inhabit that. And so I thought that turned out to be a really wonderful process. And I made the work I did into a little book prototype, and doing the same with the performance, like the way we documented it. I gave them papers to document on as well. And yeah, so I'm super excited about the fact that I got to not only do my own research in this way, but I got other people to almost do it for me. And like, it's just, yeah, they were kind of my little reporters almost, and like reporting on blue. So yeah, but yeah, thank you.
Hi, my name's Em. I'm in film production, and during the CUCCR residency, I was working a lot on like ancestral ways of knowing. I feel like this past year, I've been really interested in being more connected to my like ancestral history. I was born in Nigeria, but I was raised here, and I feel like I was very disconnected from that part of myself. So through this residency, I really wanted to reconnect with a lot of like indigenous and like non-Western cultures. Sustainability is like intertwined into the like social yes of okay words wait sustainability is interconnected in the culture and the traditions, and so I wanted to connect to that. And so in the residency, I was creating like a masquerade suit, which is a suit that like men wear to parade around the city and like wreak havoc on people. So yeah, it's very spiritual, and it's like really tied to various Nigerian tribes and cultures. So I was creating that with recycled fabrics, and I'll actually be presenting the final piece next week here 4 to 6, so be there. But yeah, I'm really thankful for the experience to be able to like reconnect to my heritage, to my culture, in a cool, sustainable way, and learn new skills. Like I never sewed before this, and now I'm a master with the sewing machine. So yeah, it's been a really, really cool experience. And if you have the chance to apply next year, you definitely should. I think, yeah, you meet a lot of cool people, you get to do cool things, so.
I just want to say a final thank you to you guys for all the effort you've put in throughout the residency. I'm going to pass it back to Arrien.
Great. All right.
Thank you. I swear it's almost cupcake time. Just give me one more minute. If I can just remember the password to my computer. There we go. All right, so, I mean, amazing. Thank you again to the artists. First and foremost, it's always a pleasure to work with artists. And this year across disciplines, you bring so much creativity. I've seen this residency evolve so much over the last 6 years. So again, thank you so much. And please do, next Wednesday, Ev, Kaitlyn, and Em are presenting here in the Force Space, I think starting around 2 o'clock. So if you have between 2 and 6, if you have time, come over here and experience the end of the artist residency at the Force Space. I also want to thank Anna, Doug, Jax, and the rest of the Force Space team. It's been amazing working with you this year. We've been working on doing this for a while, actually, I think. So it's been amazing to do it. Thanks for getting our hands dirty together. I think we'll do it again, probably. Yeah, okay, great. Thank you to Maya for all that you've done and are doing and will be doing at CUCCR this year. It's a pleasure to work with you and looking forward to the coming months. Thank you to my wife, Anna. I don't know where she is. There she is. For asking me to join her on this reuse journey 6 plus years ago. Thank you to all our friends, our family, and our colleagues for your continued support and doing the work that we do. And thanks to all of you, our community, for believing in reuse at Concordia and beyond these walls. Now, please enjoy some cupcakes. The orange ones are vegan, and there's lots of non-alcoholic cider from here in Quebec. That's it. Thanks for coming. Enjoy.